good morning from the heart of Hammertown at the 20th anniversary King of the Hammers in beautiful Johnson Valley, California. I am Miles Hasquis, and this is the 2026 Griffin Radiators King of the Hammers powered by Optima batteries. Today we are about to kick off with the unlimited qualifying, and then at 10 a.m. it's the Toyo Tire Desert Challenge Limited Race presented by Monster Energy. And then this afternoon around 5 p.m. it's the Sylvania Off-Road Class 11 Showdown presented by Slow Ride Garage on the short course right here in Hammertown. So let's dive into it. I am going to send it to the Griffin Radiators main stage. Take it away.
Good morning and welcome to Johnson Valley, California. We are here for the 20th edition of the Griffin Radiators King of the Hammers powered by Optima batteries. I'm Jim Marsden, and what a beautiful day we have here. The sun is shining, we've got a little bit of dust hanging in the air, but I cannot wait to get this Toyo Tires Desert Challenge presented by Monster Energy underway. What a day of action we've got ahead of us. Today we've got the unlimited qualifying. The big dogs are going to be out there on course. Then after that is the limited racing. We saw them qualifying yesterday. It's going to be absolutely epic. Joining me today in the booth is the man who brings logistics to Fish-gistics. It's none other than Fish himself. Fish, how we doing?
We're doing good. We're out here again in Johnson Valley, and we're ready to see some T1s and T2s go this morning. And there's nothing like waking up to the sound of 20 or so of these things lined up, ready to go. I mean, this is some horsepower we got lined up here.
Oh, it is indeed. And we have some incredible talent out there. There are guys who are literally barely old enough to be out in nappies, right the way to the old guns. And talking about old guns and legends, I've got one sitting right next to me right now. It's none other than a champion himself. It's Mr. Ryan Arciero. Ryan, welcome to the booth.
Happy to be here with you guys. Obviously, we're kicking off the 2026 season here at King of the Hammers. It's a beautiful day. I mean, obviously, it's still chilly out here right now. This morning, there's no wind. I just got done looking at the flags out there, and there's no wind right now, so the dust is going to be sitting, which is going to make it challenging for tomorrow. But today is all about qualifying. Today is all about putting that fast lap on the board, getting track position, because for this race, especially if that dust is sitting tomorrow, that track position is going to be huge.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic to be here. Now we're looking at there, as we've seen this sport evolve over the years, we've seen a real change moving away from the two-wheel drive monsters that we've been seeing for years into all-wheel drive configurations. We've got no fewer than 6 all-wheel drives out there today. Now we know Hammers is a very technical track. How's that going to play out for these drivers?
You know, obviously the all-wheel drives have been phenomenal. You know, there's nothing I can say bad about them at all. I drive a two-wheel drive. And with the 190 Industries truck, I love it. I'm got a chance to drive the 19 here on Wednesday. On this particular course, I don't see a big disadvantage to a good two-wheel drive and a good two-wheel drive driver to a good four-wheel drive. But one of the biggest things, especially in qualifying, where it plays into effect is off the start. The four-wheel drives will smoke any two-wheel drive off the start. So there's a chunk of time that the two-wheel drives are leaving on the table just when the green flag goes off.
Absolutely. Now, Fish, looking at this field, and it is a stacked field. We've got Baja champions out there. We've got national champions. I mean, who are you looking at?
I mean, right off the bat, there's two people that I'm looking at to take the. Well, actually, I don't know about today because one of them usually doesn't like to qualify first. However, he has accidentally before, so I don't know if he's going to try that today or not. But I think Luke McMillan and Christopher Polvoorde are the two to watch. Just off the top, if I had to pick two. There's obviously 5 or 6, all-wheel drives here. Any one of them will qualify first. It will be an all-wheel drive that qualifies first. I think Ryan would agree with that, probably.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. I do. I said, I think come race day, I think the good two-wheel drives will show their cards. But I said today, you got to put the lap down today. You got to be able to be in a good position for tomorrow's race. So I said you really got to concentrate on not making mistakes, whether you're in a two-wheel drive or a four-wheel drive. One flat tire is going to push you to the back, which is going to be detrimental to your Sunday's race.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one of the things I was looking at as I saw these cars lining up, we're starting to see some of these vehicles, and they're starting to run what I call qualifying trim. So I watched the Polvoorde car earlier, only one spare tyre fitted in the back of the rack. Does that kind of weight actually make a difference?
It does. Obviously, you want to trim it down as much as possible for qualifying, no matter where you're at. Obviously, especially here at King of the Hammers. I saw the qualifying loop. It's going to be a fast qualifying loop. So, and as soon as you get out of Hammertown and you get through that cross grade, all the big ditches, it opens up into more of a sandier terrain, and so you automatically have a lot of mechanical bite. So you want to be able to pull as much weight as you can to get some top speed out of the trucks. So you see different trucks with different configurations. Some of the guys are just going to run full everything, both spare tires, all their spares on, stand ladders and jacks and drive lines. Some guys are going to trim it down, like you see with Polvoorde and with some of the other vehicles out here today too.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we've got Michael Scafuto, who's going to be first off the line today. Now this is an all-wheel drive truck. This is a Brentford all-wheel drive truck. And I was chatting to Michael yesterday, and he was saying he's put a lot of energy into making changes. He's really out there on the start of this grid. What do you think?
Obviously he's got to stay clean. It's that balance between staying clean, especially when you leave Hammertown, because you're going into the most gnarliest part of the whole course right off the bat. You got big rocks, you got big ditches. Everything's cold. The suspension, they just drove from the pits to here, so there's no heat in the suspension right now. So you got to play that balance between wanting to charge to lay that lap down and not screwing up in the first mile of the course.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a balancing act, isn't it, Fish? And we've seen so many times top runners making faults on their qualifying and seeing them at the back of the grid. I mean, Ryan, I hate to bring it up, but I think you've been there.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've had some issues in qualifying, and it's put me in the back. It's put me in the back, not by choice. And I tell you what, it is tough to try to get through this field. So that's what makes qualifying nowadays so critical.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's quite a big Johnson of a qualifying course today, and it's going to be fun to see who can come out on top.
You're for sure you're going to have to lay it out. I mean, because it's that fast loop, like you're getting after it. It's going to be interesting to see what when the cars fall, who's at the top of the box.
Right now, as you can see, we've got the T2s that we're talking about here. So the T2s, these are the Spec class cars. They're basically a T1, but they have a limited motor. Now, most of these are going to be running an LS3 6.2 litre system, but we have got one truck out there is running the Ford EcoBoost, which is the 3.5 twin turbo V6.
We got 1 minute till the start. We just got up that update, so 1 minute, and we will be going live.
Yeah, the Spec class for me, I think is some of the best racing. I think you guys can agree, and Fish as well, that it's some of the best racing we have in our sport right now. To that point, the difference between the T1 and the T2. At 19 Industries, when we build the trucks, they're identical. So when you see the 19 and you see the 219, the trucks are identical with the exception of the power plant and some electronics and some plumbing, but the gist of the truck is identical.
Yeah, it's a massive change from when we look at what the Spec trucks were nearly 10 years ago with that 37-inch package, etc., and of course the underdrives and everything that was working their way through. But we're now lining up. We're getting ready here at the Toyo Tires Desert Challenge presented by Monster Energy, and first off the line is Michael Scafuto, and here he goes.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be first off. That's not an ideal situation to be in. It's really tough because you're the first one out on the course. You can see they just watered the course a little bit ago, and at least the berms, there was a lot of qualifying, or there was a lot of pre-running out here, and most of the qualifying course was part of the race course. So it is going to be a little bit, there's going to be some berms and stuff, but still, I wouldn't want to be first.
To me, I think being first is the only advantage would be in the short course section because the track is somewhat fresh. You don't have a lot of grooves lined up in some of the big corners, but to Fish's point, yeah, being first it does have its disadvantages. I'm more of I'd rather be a mid-pack guy in qualifying to kind of see what's happening, get a feel for what's going on out there, and see if I need to change anything in the driving style of the truck based on what times have been laid down and how the course has been reacting. And that's what's nice about some of these teams out here. You have multiple car teams, so you can share that data. You might have a truck, one of your teammates go before you that you can share that data back and forth about what the course is, what areas to look out for, what areas are just like they were in pre-running. But it's going to be exciting.
It is indeed. Cannot wait for this. Now, there's a 2-minute gap between these drivers as we head out for qualifying, and that 2-minute gap is going to be absolutely critical, particularly as we said earlier, there is no wind here right now. That dust is hanging, and dust is going to be a major factor as they work their way around the back of this qualifying course.
Watch how much that dust is just sitting out there on the other side of the hill.
So we've got here sitting right now, this is Rolf Helens. Now I believe this is another Mason all-wheel drive.
Correct.
That was interesting to see Marcus Caputo. We just saw him off the line a moment ago. We just saw Ralph there, he's just pulling the gear. Looks like he's ready to take off. Car 71, and here we go. We've got go time here in Hammertown at the Toyo Tires.
You can see Rolf is one of the ones that have removed one of the spare tires in the back to save a little bit of weight.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. It's always fun to see everybody's different qualifying setup. You know, some people, they want a little bit less weight. Some people want to run the truck exactly as they do during the race because they know how it handles. Some of them don't have maybe quite as much time to change from a, qualifying setup to a race setup. But some of these guys out here are changing everything. They're changing the underdrive ratio. They're changing the rear end, the amount of fuel. What would you do, Ryan, if you're out here? What would you change between race and qualifying?
To me, it's finding that balance, especially if you're in a two-wheel drive. Obviously, you want that rear grip. That's your driving force. You don't have the front tires to pull from. And for me, I would remove at least a tire. I would probably go with a higher fuel level just to get a little bit more bite in the back, especially losing that spare tire. And then I would pull all the accessories off. Sand ladders, drive lines. We have another jack on ours. Pull all that stuff off and save as much weight as possible.
So here we go. So this is one of our first qualifiers making his way out into the desert here at the Toyo Tires Desert Challenge presented by Monster Energy. Just look at that fantastic scene. And this is what you get if you're first off the line. You get clear air. Is that going to be an advantage? We'll see how this plays out later on today. But we just saw him a minute ago lining up on the grid, a guy that we haven't seen racing for a number of years. And of course, that is Brett Serapis.
Yeah, it's cool to see them back out here, and they brought the old Coors Light, scheme back out here too. So Serapis has been, Coors Light for a long time. A lot of people remember the number 6 truck back in the day. It's been driven by a lot of different top drivers. Rob McCackern, a lot of other people have gotten in there. So cool to see them back out here. The truck that he's driving was owned by Ruben Torres before. It had Nissan on the side of it. They raced it down in the Score Series a couple times. So it's a pretty new truck. I think they only raced it maybe 2 or 3 times, maybe a full year, and that was it. And now Serapis bought it, and they're out here and they're back in the action.
No, Fred, I think both Brent and Christian were doing stints in UTVs for a little bit.
Yep.
And but it is good to see them back. Obviously, Steve Serapis, a dad's been a mainstay in the sport for a long since I was a kid. And not to age Steve, but he has been a mainstay in this sport with that livery right there. I remember on his Class 10 car back in the day was that same livery.
And this is what we were talking about earlier. This is the all-wheel drive car. You can see they've actually removed one of the spare tires from the back there. And this looks like Rolf Hallen here making his way out. Now, this is an incredibly technical part of the course. It's really cut up. Is there an advantage to going out there early?
In this section, the only disadvantage I see is the course is not going to degrade in this section. What's going to happen is guys are going to be hitting rocks, and big rocks are going to be falling in places that weren't there when you were pre-running. And so that's the only thing to me that's going to change during the course of the day today.
Yeah, and it's always that small rock that causes the big problems, of course. We've got 3 qualifiers out on course right now, and if you are just joining us, welcome. This is the 20th anniversary of the Griffin King of the Hammers, powered by Optima batteries, and we are here today for the unlimited qualifying in the Toyo Tires Desert Challenge, powered by Monster Energy, and just look at that. You do not need to know who that is. You can look at that livery once and know straight away it's one of the Terribles cars.
So this is Thor Herbst. He's going to be driving the 19 with his dad, Tim Herbst, through the course of the season. He's come out of the 219. His Pierce is going to take over 219 duty solely. And so it's exciting. The last time Thor's been in the trophy truck, he raced this race last year in the 19 and raced the Mint last year as well. But he hasn't been back in it since the Mint of last year.
And this is what's cool about this course. See all those lines right there during the race? There's lots of lines out here. That's what's fun about this area. It's not just follow the leader through here. There's a lot of opportunity for passing. We do need a little bit of wind for that to happen, though. So hopefully there is a bit of wind by the time the actual race starts later and then tomorrow, because if so, we can see some really good action out here with multiple lines and multiple areas to pass.
Yeah, and one of the wonderful things, okay, here we go. This is Thor coming off the line now in the Herbst car. Now, this car's got some history here. This car has rolled no less than twice on turn 19 on the infield. So we hope that doesn't happen today. And what a fantastic view here as we're in car with Thor. Now, this is one of the two-wheel drive vehicles, isn't it?
This is two-wheel drive. This one has the Dugan's big block in it, and it's got an X-Track 5-speed. If you can pay attention, you'll see what gear he's in. Little screen right above the steering wheel will tell you what gear he's in. So if you want to follow him upshifting and downshifting, you can.
Now, as we watch the Serapis car making its way through the desert, let's just talk a little bit about these cars and the differences between them. These are truly unlimited. You can dream it, think it, build it, race it. That is the difference, isn't it?
That's what's kind of neat about our sport. It's raw. It's to your point. You think it, you build it. And it brings creativity to a whole nother level, especially with what's coming out in the future now too. Sky's the limit for our sport, but the problem too is in the same fold is the cost keeps going up and up and up and up. So I think that's where you're rolling back to the spec side of things and in the T2 side, and where they're keeping the cost down, and it's making for great racing.
Yeah, the spec class is, it is probably the closest between them for the amount of cars. Like the trophy trucks, the T1s, there's, 5, 6 top drivers, same top drivers all the time. There's 5 or 6 people that win every race. But in the spec class, I think you have a better chance to be not one of the 5 or 6 and come in there and actually compete and run up front.
Yep, correct. It looks like they're getting ready to come back into Hammertown here pretty quick. This section right here is a little tricky. There are some rocks and boulders in here as well that you kind of got to be careful for before you get back into Hammertown.
Yeah, now Michael Scafuto, he's making his way back round the bottom of Means Butte. They're heading back in towards Hammertown, and he will be our first qualifier. Now, the question is, yesterday we saw Corbin Liverton put down an incredible 8:16. What sort of pace is Michael Scafuto going to have?
It's going to be interesting. Now, you can see, look at the dust already sitting. They say it's not going to be too bad here, but we saw it already on the other side of the mountain with it sitting. Like, is it going to be a problem for some of these guys running into the tail end of the guys in front of them?
Yeah, I think you might be surprised. I don't think these guys are going to be too far ahead of the people from yesterday. Yeah. If they are.
Okay, so we've got Michael Scafuto making his way around, and he will be crossing the line any moment here.
There he is. 8:36 is going to be his time. It's popping up there. So 8:36. What was the leader from yesterday?
8:16.
9:16?
8:16.
See, so they already beat the first one.
Yep.
Yeah. This course, if you look at it, it's a lot of tight and technical. There's not a lot of high-end speed where the trucks have an advantage over the UTVs. So the UTVs, that's why you can see they're just running with them on the qualifying course.
Especially the first part of it, Fish, is there's not a big speed difference in this first section you're seeing right now until you get up and over this first rise, and then the course opens itself up, and then as you come back in, it slows itself back down again. So there's not a big difference between the UTV side of things and the T1s and T2s.
So if you're just joining us, welcome. This is the Toyo Tires Desert Challenge, powered by Monster Energy, and we are here for the unlimited class qualifying. As we're watching the Serapis car making his way around, this is the all-wheel drive Mason, one of 5 of these on course. We've seen Michael Scafuto already crossing the line with an 8:36, but it's a stacked field. We've got some incredible talent out there. What sort of times can we expect? I'm thinking that we're going to get... Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well.
It'll be down right at 8 minutes. We might even get one under it.
I got to say, Fish is pretty good at estimating this stuff, too.
Now, this is the question we were talking about earlier. You can just see how that dust was hanging there as that car made his way around.
I mean, look at it out there. I mean,
there is zero wind.
Yeah. No, there
look
is
at the
nothing.
flags here. Even the lightest of flags are barely even moving, if anything.
Like, especially you get back to, I mean, it's only going to get worse. So you get mid-pack to the back, how bad is it going to be coming up on dust? Is it going to affect you? I mean, you can see it from the in-car. It's still hanging out in front of them. It's not so bad right now. It's not slowing them down so much, but it may.
All right, Rolf is in. We have our new leader, 8:12.
8:12.
So 8:12. That's the first Mason all-wheel drive there. So 8:12.
Yep.
I think we're going to be at 8.
Getting quicker.
We're going to be at 8.
Yep.
Look how clear that shot is. Isn't that great?
Now, what sort of speeds are they going to be hitting out the back here, Ryan?
You know, they're going to be upwards of 100, 115. When they get to closer to where the lake bed is, 120 and up.
Yeah, just looking on the screen there, you can see just above his steering wheel, you can see he's in 3rd gear at the moment. Talk to us about this gearbox on this particular vehicle.
So this one on this 19 Industries 2-wheel drive is an X-Track 5-speed, and it's paired with the Dugan's big block. It's a great package. This truck out in this open desert is fast. Like I said, I drove it on Wednesday for Tim and Thor, and it is just so much fun to drive, especially with that X-Track. It's like playing a video game. It's got paddle shift on it. Obviously, a beautiful beautiful suspension cam right now with the Fox live valve. This truck has the Fox live valve on it as well, which is fantastic. And we've been doing a lot of development with Fox to make it better and better.
You know, looking at some of these shots, Ryan, I think they forgot they have sun visors up there. Because they got their hands down, but the sun visors are up.
you get in such a zone, you forget that you got tools in the cab to work with. They're in a zone.
Right, I mean, look at right now, the sun is right there, right at the top, right? Those visors would be perfect right now.
The trouble is when you actually pull those visors down, they're often in the right place for a split second, then they're in the wrong place for a very long time.
It's never ideal.
Whereas you can move your hand very quickly, you get very used to doing it. But great imagery here. Now, if you're just joining us, Rolf Halland has the lead at the moment with an 8.12, followed by Michael Scafuto in an 8.36. Both of them in all-wheel drive trucks, as we watch none other than JP Gomez going off the line. Of course, a king here in the main King of the Hammers race. What can he do out on track? Now, this is a vehicle that is two-wheel drive.
Now you can see too, he looks like he's got his full race package on with sand ladders, so it doesn't look like he changed hardly anything.
Yeah, they just kept the truck the same, and that's a Geyser G6 there. You can tell by the slanted spare tires in the rear. So that's not Cameron's truck, the other truck that Raul races, Cameron's field.
That's correct, yeah.
Geyser, that's a little bit older than that truck. And I would suspect that we are going to have Brett, and there he is. Brett Serapis just finished 8.13.
8.13.
So 1 second behind Rolf there. So Rolf still in first. Brett Serapis 1 second behind at 8.13 in second place so far.
Yeah, and that's 3 all-wheel drive cars across the line.
Yeah, I think Polvoorde is still my favorite at this point. I think he's going to drive a little bit harder than Luke will on this course. I think it's probably going to be Polvoorde at the top. Luke is going to be in the top 3.
And let's not forget, Polvoorde, he's looking for he's looking for a repeat. He won here last year. He's coming off of the back of a big win at Baja. He is the man to beat right now.
Yep, like you said, defending champion, right?
It looks like Thor's coming back into Hammertown now. He's just getting ready to come around the mountain, drop into the last wash, and come around the mountain.
Yeah, so this is coming past the entrance to back door right now. And now, I was walking down this wash the other day, and the rocks you were talking about, they're literally just coming out the side of the wash and just falling into the track, and you've got to be so careful.
They literally, I mean, it's the size of a 40-inch tire, some of these rocks that are sitting there, and to your point, Jim, they're right off course. So if you're over a couple inches and you smack one of those things, it's taken off a corner.
Yes. Now, all of these cars that we're watching racing here today are pretty much to a man running a 40-inch tyre package. And those tyres, they're mostly going to be Toyo tyres, BF Goodrich, Yokohamas, so many different brands out here.
It is so nice to see the competition with the tire brands out here. I love it. That, you know, it's like it was in the olden days. And now you got BF Goodrich coming out with a 42-inch tire that guys have been testing, so which is going to, it's going to reset everything as well as make everybody else come to the table and do a 42-inch tire. So it's going to be exciting to see the future.
Yeah, now this is Thor Herbst making his way around. He's come around the short course, and he will be crossing the Griffin start-finish line at any moment.
And he just did 8:30. So 8:30 for Thor Herbst puts him in 3rd position right now. So 8:30.
So a solid run there.
He's the top two-wheel drive so far, because he's the only two-wheel drive.
I was going to say that was quick math.
At that point too, like Thor, I said he's been out of a T1 for over a year, so he's trying to blow the cobwebs off, and I think for race day he's going to be perfectly fine.
So talk to me about the difference between driving those T2s and driving the T1s. Is it such a big step up?
When you have that power. I'll go back to Wednesday when I was out here testing the 19. I also tested the 219s. I went back and forth between the two, and the T1s are ornery. You really manhandle those things, and that power, especially out here when you get into some of the faster sections, you definitely feel it. I mean that truck wants to go.
And speaking of trucks wanting to go, Brad Bauer is about to go off the line here. This truck is kind of cool. It's actually a 3-seater. So we haven't seen a 3-seater, out very often. We all know Pistol Pete was one of the original 3-seat trophy trucks, T1s. And Brad here, same thing. The guy actually sits in the middle, in the back, like in some of the, Pete's truck, the guy in the middle was the driver and kind of straddled the transmission in the front, where this is more of a typical 3-seater here, where the 3rd seat is in the back.
So is there any actual advantage to having 3 people, or do you just mean you've got 3 people to talk, 2 extra people to talk to?
Yeah, the driver really never has to get out, because if there's 2 people that need to get out, it's going to be the other 2.
Well, that's the other question. Does it speed up tire changes?
No, you're probably only going to have one guy get out, because honestly, more than one is just going to get in the way.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing these. The navigators now, like the top navigators, are so on point with their tire changes.
They're a minute.
It's a minute.
Yeah, a minute.
It's absolutely incredible. That's a minute from stopping to getting going again. That's crazy.
Yeah, so there's a look inside Brad's truck. Brad is also the owner of High Performance Helicopters. He actually took me up in the helicopter the other day, and we went for a little tour of Hammertown and Johnson Valley, and it was super fun. So shout out to Brad for that. Hopefully he has a good run today. And next, we should have another finisher in just a few minutes. Should be the 44 Zach Connor should be our next finisher. And there we go. Just as I was saying that, 9:03.
9:03.
9:03 for Zach Connor. Puts him in 5th position so far.
And what did we say that the top qualifier in the UTVs was? What was the time on that one again?
Say that again, sorry, 8:16.
8:16,
Yeah,
okay.
that was an incredible run there by Corbin Leviton.
Yeah.
Now, Corbin, I think this is his first time actually racing out here at King of the Hammers. Very fast drive from him yesterday. Smoking Brock Hager, who, of course, has just come off of the back of a massive Dakar victory.
Yes.
So incredible run there from Corbin.
Impressive,
Yeah,
very impressive.
That was an interesting time.
Yes.
I will say, to have that big of a gap over the rest of the field is. I hope he posts his in-car video because that would be super fun to watch that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now look at there. Look at the dust playing a factor now.
Yeah, now this is interesting. We've got 2-minute intervals out there. So why are we seeing a car catch another car? We can only surmise here that someone's had a flat tire, something's happened out on course, slowed the car in front. But this is a tough break here for this vehicle.
Well, you know, sometimes there's a talent thing that comes into play too. I'm just going to say, I don't know who that is. I'm just generalizing.
But
you
2
know,
minutes?
not everybody that has a trophy truck or a T1 or a T2 is a top-level driver. That's what's kind of cool about this sport too, though. Anybody can come into this sport. It's good and bad. You know, there's no qualification needed. You can, if you have money, you can go buy a truck right now in the parking lot, and you can go get in line right there, and you can go out and you can line it up against the top guys in the sport. Is it good or bad? I don't know, but that's how it is.
I think it has its pluses and minuses. But yeah, I mean that's what makes our sport unique. It's always been that way. Any other form of motorsports, you have to be licensed and you have to move your way up.
Let's not forget, of course, there's still a lot of safety factors involved in there with the safety equipment they need to use, whether it be inside the truck or in the truck itself. But the fact that you can enter this sport with such freedom, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got another vehicle now making their way round, dropping into the wash down by back door. And this is none other than RJ Anderson. Now, RJ, of course, has been a winner out here at King of the Hammers in the past in the UTVs.
Yeah, looking at our qualifying order today, some of the fastest T1s are going to be towards the rear, which is fun because if some of the fast guys go first and they set a really fast time, then honestly, it's kind of boring because nobody else beats them. It's more fun when you put them back and then the leader keeps changing throughout the day.
I would agree with that.
At least for us spectating.
And that's an image that never gets old. Chase helicopters and T1 race cars.
That's what's just awesome about our sport and how far it's gone. I mean, that we're watching this live and we're getting these different shots, and you know, the sport's gone to a whole new level, and I don't see a ceiling on it right now. I just see a vertical trajectory of us continuing to evolve and bring this to the fans and show them more and more.
All right, so the next car on course, it looks like on the tracker here is just finished, or about to. The Andrew Herdman on our thing, it says T2, but I think maybe he moved to T1 because they wouldn't have put a T2s in the middle of the T1, so we'll keep an eye on our tracker. That may have been why that car was getting caught, because it's a T2 that's racing in T1.
That would make sense. Especially, it looked like a fast section of the course as well.
Yeah,
so
that might be what's happening here, because I see a time going for a car that says T2.
Yeah, that's definitely
That right there. See a 6100 number on it? So that's a T2 right there. I don't know why he went right now unless he is switched to the T1 class for some reason.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that story, that's for sure. But it does look like he has definitely moved up into there, so, but you can see the pace difference between these vehicles. But then this is the difference between unlimited power and limited power.
Especially what we're looking at right now. I mean, this is where the T1s can really stretch their legs, and the specs have, the T2s don't have obviously an advantage.
Yeah.
They have a disadvantage here. Straight on, flat out. I mean, this section, you're flat out.
And that is also a rental truck, which they have an arrive and drive program. So that may very well be a rental driver that hasn't had much experience out here either.
Good point. So who do we have here coming back in, looks like?
So this
That
is
is the
Erdmann.
Andrew there.
Yeah.
That is the one we're talking about.
So he's crossing the Griffin start-finish line there.
11:27.
Pedestrian, I think we'll call that.
It's a big number.
He finished.
It's 100%. That's half the battle.
Yeah.
And he's out here having fun. That's the most important thing. So this is Brad Bowder here. This is the 3-seat T1 that we were talking about earlier.
And there's his helicopter. That's the one I went in the other day. That thing is badass, by the way. That is the smoothest helicopter I've ever been in. It's twin engine. It's pretty badass. They do a lot of utility work where they're lifting utility poles and in the Grand Canyon and all the places that you can't get to, dropping supplies off and everything for firefighting and different utility things. That's what his main company is, the High Performance Helicopter.
Okay, now I've got some exciting news here. While we've been talking about this, JP Gomez has gone into first place with an 8:06 in a two-wheel drive.
Look at that.
Fantastic run there from JP. He is going to be super stoked about that.
That's awesome. Good run.
So if we look at our top 5 right now, it's Michael Scafuto with an 8:36. In fourth, it's Thor Herbst with an 8:30. In third, it's Brett Serapis with an 8:13. In second, it's Rolf Helland with an 8:12. But right now, it's all about JP Gomez in the two-wheel drive with an 8:06.
And it goes back, you think about it, we talked about it when he took off the line. He went in full race trim.
Yes.
And yet he threw down a pretty damn good time. And so what does that tell you?
But it was also what you were talking about earlier. Those two-wheel drive trucks, you want that weight over the back end so you can get that traction.
Yep.
With the four-wheel drives, you can afford to lift that weight off as you're relying on that front end to drag you down the course.
Absolutely.
Another vehicle now working their way down through the backdoor wash. Be joining us in Hammertown very soon. And here's the man we want to talk about. This is Christopher Polvoorde. Now, this guy has been on a charge. Winner, of course, at the Baja 1000 this year. Won here at Hamilton last year. What will he be able to do? As we watch Vincent Kloss making his way across the line.
Yeah, we should have a time for Vincent any second here. So we have about five vehicles on the course at the same time is what it looks like. And there you go. Vincent is in with a 10:17, so the 7th position there. So we have about 6 or 7 more T1s if everybody shows up to go off the line, and then we will have a B1, and then into the T2s. A B1, for those of you guys aren't familiar, is basically a Class 1 car. That's what a B1 is out here.
Yep.
Or a 4400 car, either way. 4400 or Class 1 are both in B1.
Yeah, it's interesting because I thought I saw one of the Herschel cars lining up. Now, I don't see a Herschel on the list.
Was that Bailey Cole, or is he in a different car?
Well, that's what I'm wondering, if it's Bailey Cole that's actually driving that car.
So I see Bailey on here, yeah.
So if you're just joining us, welcome. This is the Toyo Tires Desert Challenge presented by Monster Energy. We are here in Johnson Valley, California for the 20th anniversary of the Griffin Radiator King of the Hammers, powered by Optima batteries.
And Brad Bowder is in with an 8:42, so that puts him in the 6th position in T1, or 6th overall, actually.
Yeah, solid run there. Let's not forget we saw Corbin Leviton crossing the line yesterday with the fastest time of 8:16. And we're seeing the big trucks now pulling time out of that with JP Gomez, our fastest qualifier, with an 8:06 right now. And this is Chris Hirsch out on track. And you can already see that dust lying in the background, Ryan.
It's not going anywhere.
And yet the racing line seems to be holding clean.
Exactly.
Fingers crossed it will stay that way for the rest of the day. Unlimited qualifying finishes. We have the limited race starting. Over 120 runners and riders, and I cannot wait to see that.
Should be an exciting race, too. Here we go, Adam Householder just taken off the line.
Now, this is a very interesting car. Of course, we've seen Adam Householder win here at King of the Hammers in a two-wheel drive. We've seen him win at the Mint 400 in a two-wheel drive. But this is a Mason all-wheel drive. In fact, this is the car that Paul Wheel and, of course, Toby Price raced at Baja. And it would have won if it hadn't run out of fuel.
Horrible luck.
Yeah, that was.
Now, I don't want to talk about that,
Bad
Chris.
luck.
I know a guy who's had that happen to him.
Oh yeah, who would run out of fuel? Who would do that, right?
Yeah, what a stupid thing to do. Huh? But, so this is, I believe, this is the first competitive miles that Adam has actually done in this truck. So it's going to be really exciting to see what Adam can do here. Because do you overdrive it? Do you underdrive it? Well, you know, what are you going to do with this truck when you've come from a two-wheel drive? Is it that big a difference?
You have to kind of dumb yourself down a little bit. What I mean by that is the two-wheel drive, you're driving 10 tenths, 11 tenths to try to keep up. The all-wheel drive, you have to pull that back, and because it's going faster than you think it is. You're
well, here,
automatically
speaking
trying
of
to drive
fast, look at that 110 I just saw on Christopher's there.
There you go. Yeah.
So 110 is pretty fast.
Yes, especially on this course.
Yeah.
But look at how relaxed he is. He looks. If you look inside the cab there, it looks like he's just driving down to Walmart, going to pick himself out some milk.
112,
you know?
113, 114. Wow. That's the fastest part of the course right here. Is he going to hit 120?
He will.
19.
There
120. There it is.
Yeah.
Right at 120.
And you can see he's coming into tail end of dust too. So I'm very curious to see how this plays out.
Now, this is really interesting as we watch all of this. So now we know these cars, when they're in full race trim for Baja trim, they can hit speeds of up to 160 mile an hour. Do they change their gearing for Hammers?
Some guys will, yes, and they'll change the gearing between qualifying and then race trim as well. It all depends on course condition. You know, a lot of the Hammers course, it has a little bit softer terrain, a little bit sandier base. Baja has a tendency to have a lot more harder base.
Well, we got two updates here. Real quick, we got a new leader. JP Gomez is in with an 806. Top of the board, JP Gomez in a two-wheel drive.
Right, yeah. We've already done
now
that.
at the top.
Yeah,
right?
where were you at?
Say that?
Where are you
I was watching something else.
Okay, well, while you're doing all of that and you're trying to work out how that computer works, let's look at a real champion. This is Luke McMillan, who's on course right now. Now, this is a very special car. This is another all-wheel drive Mason car, but where everybody's going for those really big block motors, he's running a Joe Gibbs motor, but this is still in the 7-liter range, isn't it?
It's still based on a small block configuration. Mark Conquest over at Gibbs has done a phenomenal job with these engines. I run a Gibbs engine in the 32 truck, and this is a little bit different package. This is a new package that Mark has developed for Luke to better suit the all-wheel drive. So I'm very curious to see how it goes for him, both in qualifying and in the race.
And today is actually Luke's birthday. So
Happy birthday,
Luke is
Luke.
33 years old today. Happy birthday, Luke. So, you know, a good birthday present to himself would be a top qualifying spot.
Absolutely.
It would, but does he want a top qualifying spot? I would say yes, because of the way the weather is.
Yeah.
But as we all know, as you were saying earlier, he doesn't usually like to qualify first.
Yeah, in Baja. But, you know, here it is different because if you qualify first, you get to start by yourself, correct?
Yes.
And then everyone else is two at a time.
Yeah.
So if you're second or third, you're starting on the second row. You don't really want to start next to somebody if you have an opportunity to start by yourself. So he probably is going to push a little bit harder here.
This is Christopher right here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And I said you just saw. So he's coming back towards Hammertown now. He's on the backside of the mountain, but look at the dust.
Yeah,
It's just going to affect him.
For
It
sure.
has to a little bit.
For sure
It has
it
to.
is.
These guys are experienced in driving in dust. They can see further in dust than normal human beings, but it's still dust, and it still makes it very difficult to drive indeed.
Especially you come back into Hammertown, just like we talked about. If you're in dust in that lot, in that near back door with those big rocks, you got to start weighing risk versus reward at that point.
Yeah. And it's still a long race. Let's not forget they've got hundreds of miles of racing tomorrow. You can throw it away in a split instant during the qualifying. You mustn't do that. You've got to hold your racing line. You've got to make sure that you're doing what you need to do. Now we've got some big hitters out on course right now as we watch another car making their way round.
Should be John Bowers coming back in. So John Bowers coming into the finish in a minute somewhere here. And
This is
then
one of the
that's the
Brenthal cars
27, Brenthal.
Yep.
Jonathan Brenthal on the entry list.
That's the all-wheel drive.
I think so.
Yeah.
So this is, I believe, the last of our T1s going off the line now.
So this is the gnarliest part of the qualifying loop and the course, for that matter, is right through here. Big ditches, big rocks.
It always interests me. You see it on the camera and you see the whole car literally disappear. Oh, now check this out. This is turn 19.
Yeah, this is going to be a fast time.
That is none other than Christopher Polvoorde hooking up with that all-wheel drive vehicle. What's he got for us? He's chasing down an 8.06 laid down by the two-wheel drive of JP Gomez.
Oh, my God. 7:23?
Wow. What?
Whoa.
What?
Somebody told me off the start he took a line there like, is he okay to take that? I don't know.
Wow.
So, I don't know.
That's a big difference.
7:23.
That's absolutely incredible.
Oh, that's super fast. Good job, Christopher. I want to see what Luke's time is in a couple minutes here.
Now, as we watch a car going off the line right now, it's absolutely remarkable. The times just keep tumbling here. We saw Corbin Leviton yesterday laying down an 8.16 and taking a huge chunk of time out of the other racers. Today, we're seeing Christopher Polvoorde doing exactly that. He's just literally taken over 40 seconds out of JP Gomez.
Yeah, that's super fast.
That's incredible. Is this who's coming back in now? Is that RJ? That's RJ right there.
Yeah, so that's RJ Anderson taking off. He is that is the original Mason all-wheel drive truck. That is the Larry Connor #1 truck.
Team
So
C?
that was the first one that they built. Truck's been around for a while.
I drove that one. I drove that one when Neil was doing the development on it, and I did a little bit of racing with Team C. So great truck. It's amazing how far they've come to today.
Fish just letting you know. Very So we've got it all going on here at the Toyo Tires Desert Challenge powered by Monster Energy. Incredible race action, and what can this man do? This is none other than Baja champion, multiple Baja champion, Luke McMillan. It's his birthday, and he is chasing down Christopher Polvoorde's unbelievable 7:23.
And Luke got up to 125 on the lake bed, too, so that was a new high score there.
Yeah.
It's about carrying that speed, isn't it?
Yeah.
We can see people go fast in small sections, but it's about being able to carry that speed for long periods of time. And this, of course, is Adam Householder. He's won here in the past. He's made the change over to an all-wheel drive. He makes his way around turn 19, and he'll be coming onto the Griffin radiator start-finish straights.
I think he's lost part of his left rear fender, too. I saw something flapping.
Love the way these cars come over these jumps. So what's he got for us as he comes across the line? Fish, what was our time?
We have Adam Householder in with an 8 flat.
8 flat.
Now, that's right where I thought our top truck would be. So
Yeah.
there's multiple reports coming in. We're going to have to wait and see
what happens.
until everything's official.
Righto.
I love how Fish gets all the back end and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, right now, this, of course, is a 4400 class car. And this is Paul Herschel. Now, he's not on our starting list, but as soon as I saw that livery, I knew exactly who it was.
All right, here comes Luke. We see him.
Now, this is very interesting here. This seems to be a slightly different line there from Paul. He's coming off the starting gate. Now, don't forget they're racing from VCP to VCP. It's not like King of the Hammers where they're following a VCP or a set course. It is literally they're working from VCP to VCP. So look, if you want to straight line it, you can crack on. And that's where Corbin Leviton found his time yesterday. The interesting thing is that what Christopher Polvoorde's done today?
I was just going to say that. Did he take that same line right there?
We're at the mountain at the start. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a half mile less, of course, that
Yes.
somebody did.
That's a big deal.
So yeah, it's interesting.
that would make sense why a 720 comes into play.
Yeah, I did not see Luke at that section. Did we have a camera of Luke there?
I didn't see it either, but
I have a feeling
we're going to find out.
Luke's going to be at 8 minutes.
If Luke is that far off, then for sure he didn't take it because Luke would never be that far off.
No.
So this is Luke McMillan on the Toyo Tires Desert Challenge powered by Monster Energy, making his way round into the short course. Look at the pace. That's got to be nearly 100 miles an hour making his way down here.
Yes, I just got confirmation that guy that just went took the exact same line from somebody that's standing out there.
So the question is that legal or not legal?
Well, you said it's VCP to VCP, but is that you could just go straight at it or what? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a race ops question.
Yeah, where's Ben?
Yeah.
Somebody get Ben to the booth, please.
Just look at this.
I'm sure someone's going to have a problem with it.
The final S-bends here, and here he goes. This is Luke McMillan crossing the line, the Griffin radiator start line.
And I apologize, I was off by a second again. So Luke is 8:01.
8:01.
I thought he'd be 8. So
that was pretty. That's
Luke,
pretty
you let me
close.
down by a second, but that's okay, buddy. So
but that just goes
8
to show
and
you
8:01
for sure.
Yeah.
There's a way different line, and Christopher took a way different line than Luke did.
Yes.
But I'll tell you who's going to be smiling right now, and that's Adam Householder. His first time out in an all-wheel drive truck, and he's just beaten Baja champion Luke McMillan on the qualifying run here.
Sean Kroll getting a little bucky there.
Yeah.
Now, this is a very different type of car. This is a 4400 class car. So it's out there in the B1, or sorry, in the buggy class, which is the B1s. So it's racing with, I suppose you'd say, with what we call class 1. Except it's an all-wheel drive configuration. And if you're sitting here in Hammertown at the moment, do not forget that the Unlimited drivers will be joining us after qualifying for an interview session and, of course, to do autographs out here in front of the main stage. Now, that's very cool because you get a chance to meet your heroes.
It's great to be able to get up close and personal with the vehicles. I mean, the fans can go up next to the trucks now, and which is pretty cool, and be able to talk to the drivers and the teams. That's what's so nice about our sport. It's so open and accessible to all the fans.
All right, here comes Jonathan Brenthal, it looks like, from the Brenthal brothers. Now, I believe that's probably him driving. Sometimes they have a lot of different drivers that drive different cars. I know that their T2 entry is going to be driven by Grabowski, because I talked to him earlier, so he's out here going to drive their T2.
And Grabowski's fast.
Yeah, he's very fast. I look for him to be right up in with this mix up here towards the top in that truck.
Yeah, who's that?
That did look like RJ to me.
They're whoever it is,
Should be
they're on
RJ.
it.
Yeah, that's
Yep,
RJ.
that's RJ.
Yep.
A man who is no stranger to going fast.
He's going to be right about 8 minutes, too.
Just look at that. There is nothing left on that track. He wants it with everything he's got. Okay, now this looks like Bailey Cole here. This is a Trent Fab car, IFS front end. And of course, we're more used to seeing that on the 4400 race course. But Bailey Cole is going to be racing 4 races here at Hammers this week. So this is another Brenthal car making his way across the line. And we'll be crossing the Griffin radiator start-finish. And what time have we got for him there? So Jonathan Brenthal crossing the line in 11th position.
There you go.
And that was with an 8:45. But our current pole sitter right now is Christopher Polvoorde with a 7:23, which is almost unbelievable.
Well, we know why.
Well, yeah. He got creative.
But creative wins races. That's why we go. That is why we do pre-running. That's why we go and look at the course.
You can't not. I mean, if he did his homework. So if it sticks and the organizers allow it, then he outthought the competition.
I mean, if the qualifying yesterday took the same line and he didn't get a penalty, then if that is the exact same line he took today, how can you give him a penalty today if you didn't give him a penalty yesterday?
100%.
Absolutely.
Or you got to give him both penalties.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, R.J. Anderson also took that line because he's at a 7:21. So,
there you have
all right,
it.
we're just going to call it out now that multiple people have. There's a line right off the start that is questionable. All these guys with the low time have taken that line. So it's very obvious. There's multiple videos up on multiple pages already of that line being taken. So when you see this big gap in the timing, everybody, that's what's going on here. So if I'm sitting in line over here and I'm watching this, I'm probably going on that line at this point, right?
You have to. If any of the crew guys are out there, you want to go talk to your driver, you might want to go explain it to them and then show them on video so they can see exactly where it's at.
All they
because
got to
it's
do
a
is
big
watch
advantage.
the feed.
It's not a small advantage. It's a big advantage.
It's about a 30-second advantage. It's about a half a mile. I see guys running over to their cars right now, actually, to tell their drivers about it. Now, if you guys get a penalty later, don't blame us. I'm just telling you how they got that time.
We're just feeding information. That's all we're doing.
Yep. Don't shoot the messenger.
So this is the standard line, what he's on now.
Yes, the other line misses that mountain completely. See, that's the thing about kicking the hammers, too. Like in Mexico, you can get away with a lot of this stuff, which it's harder to nowadays because there's a lot more cameras there.
Absolutely.
But you can take lines, and now we have in-car video. I mean, Polvoorde was broadcasting his video. You can go watch his in-car video and see what he did.
Yep.
Like, you know, with in-car video, you can't get away with stuff anymore.
No.
With helicopters with video, you can't get away with it. And with people all over the course, you can't get away with it. So,
well, it's not about getting away with it. This is all about being clever. This is about pre-running.
That's
this is
the
about
fine line.
Yep.
This is about reading the rule book and saying, okay, the rule book says I'm game on for this, and then taking that chance, but also being smart as well. So when you're pre-running, you don't go and burn that line in.
Yeah.
Okay? You just leave that sitting there, waiting for race day, waiting for qualifying.
That's my
and
little
that's
nugget.
exactly what he's done.
Yep. No, I think it's brilliant.
And this is Paul Herschel here. We're
and
watching.
he took that line also, so this might be a really fast time.
Yeah.
Although his car's not working very well in the desert, to be
No,
honest,
yeah.
so I don't think it's going to be that fast.
Looks like he's got some work to do in the rear.
Yeah, but these are a very different weapon. So, like, dare we
Yeah,
say,
they are.
this is a
Yeah.
rock, but this is a
Yeah.
rock donkey. Putting it out there, having some fun in the desert. This guy just loves to be out there racing.
Is this one of our first specs?
Yeah, this is one of our first. This is Neil Dricky here, making his way out.
Well, we had that other one that was in with the T1s earlier.
don't
for
understand
some
that,
reason,
yeah.
right?
In fact, there was two.
Yeah.
Two of them,
in
yeah.
there.
Yeah, you're right.
Because the Vincent Kloss is also running that TBT front end, which must make him in 6100. But this is Neil Dricky. No stranger to
that
racing
line
in
looked
6100.
When they were running that line, it looks like they just followed the snow fence on out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. It goes straight out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you miss out this huge chunk here.
They're far, far left.
And, it's not only-
And that
there you
hill he's
go.
going over right
Here we
now
go.
is so rocky, you have to slow down on it. You can't carry a lot of speed.
Yeah, now this is Paul Herschel making his way around the short course. Last few bends, he'll be making his way around the Griffin radiator start-finish loop. What do we got here for Paul Herschel? Paul Herschel comes in 13th position with an 8:58. So a solid run there from Paul Herschel. So this looks like another Class 1. In fact, this is actually, I think, our only official Class 1 entry in what I'd call a buggy. Paul Herschel, of course, is running a 4400 class car and the Class 1 or the B1 configuration, but this is what we'd call a classic B1. Rear-wheel drive, independent rear, independent front suspension, 40-inch tyres, unlimited motor. Time on Paul Herschel, I expected him to be above 13th position, but we will see. You're never ever quite sure. So we watch another car leaving the line now. That's the 6106 of RJ Hayes. And I'm looking down at our top 5. In 5th position on our highest place, two-wheel drive, it is JP Gomez. In 4th position is Luke McMillan. In 3rd, it's Adam Householder. In 2nd, it's Christopher Polvoorde. But right now, our man on a charge is RJ Anderson, sitting there with a quite unbelievable 721. The sun is shining here in Johnson Valley. There's hardly a breath of air. The dust is hanging high. But it's a fantastic day for qualifying here at the Toyo Tires Desert Challenge, powered by Monster Energy. Oh, look at this.
Oh.
Now, this is a different line.
Yep.
Yeah, where's he going?
I know. That was a mistake.
I was
mistake.
going to say.
Yeah, that
That
was
may
a
be a
mistake.
plus 30-second
Yeah.
line, not a minus
Yeah.
30-second line. So the good thing about qualifying here is if you do have a problem, these cars are not racing today. These cars are racing tomorrow. So if you got to do something to the truck today to get it ready for tomorrow, you do have the rest of the day to do it, which is cool. You know, in a couple of years past, you did the qualifying and then you went straight to the race. So you literally had time to maybe change a tire, put some fuel in the truck, and then you were ready to go. So you had to be a little bit smarter, where now you can actually drive a little harder because you know you can at least work on the car for the rest of today.
And it used to be that your time counted towards your total race time as well.
Yes,
So,
when they first started it,
yep.
they did, and it was a long, it was like
It was a
40
longer
or
loop.
60 mile loop or
Yep.
whatever it was, yeah. There's a look at Vincent Munoz. I did see him out there earlier tightening the lugs on his rear tires, so he said he was good to go today, and he's pretty confident that they're all going to stay on it. But if there is any Dodge trucks parked out on the course, just beware when Vince comes by.
So I think this is Bailey Cole now in the Trent Fab car. So Bailey qualified really well yesterday, and he'll be in full race duties later on in his UTV.
The front end's digging in a little bit.
It's amazing to see, isn't it? That when you actually look at these cars lined up next to each other, there doesn't look to be that much difference. But when you see them on the course, the difference is night and day.
Oh, 100%.
The way that a car that's designed to desert and built for desert eats the ground up compared to a 4400 is remarkable. But then you can't see a desert car going and driving the rock trails that car
Absolutely
can do
not.
afterwards.
They would never make it up.
Although I was joshing with Adam Householder yesterday saying, come on, how much money is it going to cost to get you put this car into one of the rock trails? Said, you've got four-wheel drive now. There's no excuse.
No.
Let's talk a little bit about the suspension packages that some of these cars have. I mean, we've got King Shocks, who are obviously the official shock of King of the Hammers. I mean, they do so much work out here, but there's lots of different companies as well. I mean, how does King work? I mean, we see Alan Ampuda, for example, who races down in Baja, and Luke McMillan, etc. How does this suspension work on these vehicles?
You know, first off, it's awesome. Just like the tire side of things, it's awesome that you have the competition on the suspension side of things with King, with Fox, and I know there's a couple of smaller brands out there, but they're both trying to outdo each other and come up with the better package, and they both do a phenomenal job. Obviously, you watch the guys that are on Kings. The trucks are working fantastic, and then you got the Fox side of things, and Fox is starting to open up, on the live valve side, electronic side, and which is opening up a whole new realm for what we do in desert racing. So it's really interesting to see the different approaches.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we just saw Bailey Cole crossing the line there. He's 16th overall and first in B1 class with a 9:30, so a solid run there from Bailey Cole. Worth noting also that we've got Andrew Herdman at the moment, who's sitting there in first position in class in T2. So the T2s are just starting out on course right now. What sort of times can we expect from these guys, Fish?
The T2s, they're probably going to be about, 30 seconds slower than the top. Well, it depends what line they take. I mean, some of these T2s could be ahead of Adam Householder if they go over there, because that's obviously about a 40-second gain by going over there.
And we're seeing changes in this, aren't we? I mean, we look back at the Parker 400, a few weeks ago. We saw a T2 only narrowly beaten by a T1.
Yeah, it definitely depends a lot on driver and on the course and how many of the T1s are there. When you see the T2 finish that high up, a lot of times there's not as many T1s, or it's a long course where attrition took its way. The T2s, they really are. They're just more reliable most of the time, because they're not pushing the envelope quite as much as the T1s are.
You can run, and the T2s, you can run hard. You can run hard the entire race. They're so reliable now. Like going back to your statement about Parker. I mean, Parker typically would suit the faster vehicles, because there's a lot of straight-on fast roads, a lot of uphill sand washes that would benefit a bigger motor as opposed to a T2. So it was pretty interesting. To Fish's point, he's exactly right. It depends on the driver, it depends on who shows up, and what vehicles show up, and that kind of plays into how far up a T2 can go.
Yeah, this race I could see a T2, finishing pretty high once again, because this is a one-off race. No one's here for series points in any of these desert classes. Everybody's just going for the win. So typically the attrition rate at this race is pretty high for that reason, because everybody's just pushing real hard. Also, some of these guys out here racing just raced Parker, and they came out here with a truck that doesn't have a full prep on it. It might just have a light, quick prep, so they might have an issue out here. So that's why this race is a little bit different than some of the other races, which makes it more fun for spectating, because guys are really going for it.
Absolutely. I mean, I expect tomorrow, 5 laps, I expect tomorrow to be a fast race. It's a fast race course. I'm expecting average mile per hour to be in the 60 range for this race, kind of like you would see it at San Felipe, knowing what the course is. So it'd be pretty interesting to see what happens. And obviously, with a higher average, that suits more the T1 than it does a T2.
As we watch Chad Woodruff there, and he's making his way, taking the long way round the course. So there's a line just to the left there that we saw our faster vehicles were taking.
You can see the line where it comes in right there.
There it is. And as you said, Ryan, that's got to be saving at least 20 plus seconds.
Oh, absolutely.
But to win these things, sometimes you have to box clever. You have to use the rule book, you have to use your common sense, and of course, you just have to be a little bit inventive.
Creativity. That's what our sport was founded on, is creativity.
Oh, yeah. I remember a few years ago.
Race you on dirt, sand, snow. Race you through this, over that, all day, all night. Race you on 4 wheels, 1 wheel. How about no wheels? Race you with the world watching, this guy watching. Race you to the summit, maybe not that summit, to sub 7. Any event, any terrain, any time. Race you.
I like the narrative, that I'm the best in the league. Who you comparing with? That is competitive, top of the throne of this league. How you moving so on the speed? I just been bringing the heat. I just been bringing the fire.
It was bigger then than it was 13 years ago.
They've been working their butts off on it.
I have
I know Dave
indeed.
has.
But it's also becoming a very different animal as well. So we've got people who just come out here for this incredible Toyo Tires Desert Challenge, and they come out and watch this, then they leave, and then we get more people coming back in for the rock races. It's a remarkable scene.
All right, so there we have some more T2s out there. That is Vincent right there, who we were talking about earlier. We also just saw Brady Fox going out a little bit ago with the Fox truck. There's one of those Fox trucks races every single race there is between Brent and Brady, right? They're at every race there is.
They live my dream. I mean, I think Brent's he's such an awesome guy, and obviously he's in one of the 1.9 Industries trucks, and he's coming off like the Baja 1000 win as well, and which is massive, and so they're on a high right now too.
So here we go. We've got another finisher coming across the line now.
Finished. I don't remember
we've got Neil Drickey's actually coming in first position in T2. So a fantastic run there for Neil Drickey with a 9.16. Very good run indeed.
What a great shot of Fox right there with the helicopter. Beautiful.
We got a helicopter race going on as well.
There's that dust as well, so he's leading to the tail of that dust.
Yeah, that is really going to come into play this afternoon. And I did look at the weather report, and we are getting like 4 to 5 miles an hour today, so it's not going to be very much. Yeah.
I mean, just look from the helicopter. I mean, obviously this is a T2, and he is not going slow by any means. I mean, the T2s, even though they have the stock LS3 platform, they're not slouches when it comes to speed.
Oh! Going through the berm there, trying to make the right. Got to stay on the gas.
Of course, the biggest difference that we notice is they'll be running a two-wheel drive platform on all the T2s, where, of course, the T1s, they can step up, they can go into that all-wheel drive. And it's an all-wheel drive we see at the top of the pack at the moment. So also worth noting that Sean Kroll crossed the line in that B1 with a fantastic 8:39 in his first in B1 right now.
Little note on Vincent here in this truck, that's also a 1450 truck. So he's running that truck in T2 because his regular 6100 T2 is still getting prepped for a different race, but he wanted to do both. So he's going to qualify right now and there and then run it in 1450 later.
That's why he had the TTB suspension.
Yeah. Well, is it TTB a four-wheel drive system?
Oh, don't get it there. I-beam. Let's go
I-beams. There we go.
I-beams.
His dirty hooker travel.
It's early in the day.
So Vincent making his way back into town here. Good for him. It looks like, I don't want to jinx him, wait till he goes across the finish, but I'd say it looks like all his wheels stayed on this time. That's a plus. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. He's the one at Rachel River that had that tire come off and went through the infield into the Dodge.
Yeah. I saw that on the video.
Yeah, that's never good when you lose a tire.
Thank God no one was standing there.
They don't stop very fast.
No.
Yeah.
Here. Oh, okay.
All right, so we're looking at more T2 action out there, out on course right now. What do you think, Ryan? Who's your pick for T2?
Wow, it's a stacked field. That's good. That's a.
I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a Herbst truck, but
I would hope so. You mean a 1-9 Industries truck?
Oh, sorry, I'm old school. They're always gonna be Herbst, right? You know,
they
you
are,
can call it whatever you want, but
and obviously they're still the majority owners of 1-9 Industries, so technically it is.
There you go.
But 100%. I mean, obviously we hope so. I mean, our trucks are so solid, and especially in the T2 class as well. The trucks are fast. So I mean, I'm hoping Pierce lays down a good time in the 219. Same with EJ's been coming along real strong in the 263 as well. So, but Fox, I mean, you can't count Fox out. They're always fast.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty stacked field out here, isn't it? There was quite a few that came in the last, entered in the last week too, so it made the entry list get a little better.
One of the things I noticed with desert races, they kind of like hide their cards, don't they? They don't like to enter a race like 6 months before. It's like lastminute.com.
Last minute.
That's how they are with everything, including the prep.
Yeah, because when you enter right away, you got to pay the entry right away. So
Yeah.
we kind of hold back a little bit.
Yeah, because of course the entry makes a massive difference when you
Yeah,
just
I
bought
know,
a
no
all-wheel
kidding.
drive Mason. Yeah. And we've got another finisher coming across the line right now. Now, let's just have a quick look at our top 5 if you're just joining us here at the Toyo Tires Desert Challenge powered by Monster Energy. In 5th position and our highest place two-wheel drive is JP Gomez. In 4th is Luke McMillan. In 3rd is Adam Householder. In 2nd is Christopher Polvoorde. But right now, our pole sitter is RJ Anderson with a quite incredible 7:21. Get your head around that, Fish.
Here we go. We have a new pole sitter in the T2 class, Brady Fox. Just talking about him, Ryan.
Yep.
Brady Fox is in with an 8:21. That is 8th overall.
Wow,
So he's
that's
the
good.
8th fastest truck right now. I didn't see what line he took off the start,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah,
a good time.
Yep.
8:21. That's only 21
That's-
seconds faster than the guys that we know did the full thing.
Yep.
But
that
I'm
is
going to
solid.
pull you on that because you said we're going to see a 30-second difference between T1 and T2. That's a minute difference.
Well, depending on which way they went.
But joining us
But what is it? Wait, hang on. It's a 21-second difference if he went the way that Luke and them did, right?
Oh.
See?
Because you
Semantics,
know, I said,
semantics.
Luke's not going to be that far off of
Yes.
the lead. So, and that's far off.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. So we've got a gentleman joining us in the booth right now, and he's the father of one of the drivers that we've got out here, Cameron Sorenson. Now, this young man has been doing lots of different things. He's going to be racing in 4400. He's also racing here today in T2. Welcome, and thank you for joining us on stage. Tell us a little bit about what's going on, because we like to see young blood coming into sport. So what's happening?
Cameron Sorenson's out there. He's going to be racing the 4400. He's always loved rock crawling. His background is from go-karting. He's the youngest Formula Drift driver right now. He competes in FD. His older sister and brother have both raced this race. They didn't have success last year or the year before that, but right now it's he's been out rock crawling, pre-running with some of the best guys out there. AK took us underneath of his wing and helped us out.
So that'll be AK Watley, of
Yep.
course, we're driving in one of the all-wheel drive vehicles that we see out here in 4400. But talk to us about today. So what's Cameron going to be driving today?
Cameron's in the Spec truck. It's Matt Warworth built it.
Mm-hmm.
The I don't know.
So
I'm not for sure.
So is this his first time in the T2?
Yes, first time in T2.
That's fantastic. So this is actually, you know, a real baptism of fire, coming out to King of the Hammers, strapping on a T2 and being on this qualifying course for the first time. So has he got many miles in the seat?
Yeah, we have another truck that he's been out here playing in. We have a second trophy truck that's his backup one right now that he's been out sending the mountains, doing some rock crawling with it a little bit, just beating it to death. He takes it out to the sand dunes, runs in the sand dunes. He drives with a throttle instead of the steering wheel. So
has he been migrating to more of the rock crawling side or more of the desert side?
The Ultra 4 is what he really loves.
Nice, okay.
100%.
Well, it'll be very interesting to see how he gets on here today. We wish him every success, and thank you very much for joining us on stage and telling us about it.
Thank you.
All right, we just saw Pierce Herbst going out there. The Ryan, who's riding with him today?
Jeremy Munyon is with him. Jeremy's a fantastic navigator. He's also a fireman, so you got an onboard medic that's with him as well. So which is great. But you can see, I mean, I'm impressed with how good that truck looked through he was smashing through those big bumps right out of Hammertown. So that's what's so nice about the trucks. You really can beat the crap out of them, and they take it. There's Terry Householder, I think, right there too now.
Yeah, it's easier to tell the difference between the trucks now because before they were kind of the same truck, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Now you can tell the difference a little bit with the spares and stuff. Yeah, Terry and Adam, they do all their own prep, right? Their own shop and everything?
They do. Adam does a huge majority of it. I think they have a couple other guys that work there, but Adam loves that. I think Terry operates the business side with his business and on the fire sprinkler side, and then Adam living his dream in the shop and on the racing side, which I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, pretty cool to see father son out here racing, and here we are in one of the Herbst trucks. Speaking of father and son, they've been around for a long time. The Herbsts throughout all the years. Now the kids are racing. They're when do they get to go into a T1, or do they want to keep them in the T2 for a while, or like how's that work there?
So this year was the changeover with Thor, and so Thor is going to be running with Tim all year long.
Okay.
This race, the Mint, and then the 4 Baja races in the T1 in the 19, and then Pierce is going to take over driving duty solely for the 219 all year, and then probably have Riley Herbst. Once he finishes his NASCAR season, we'll go run with Pierce at the 1,000, and then EJ is going to run the lion's share of this year. And
who we see right here, right? This EJ.
Yep. And with Josh Montoya, who's his navigator, and then quite possibly Ryan Mello might step back in for a couple races as well to help EJ out. But it is a family affair. I mean, the Herbst are such a good group of individuals. They've been a mainstay in this sport, forever, and they're always willing to help people out. They have a passion for this, and to be able to see it now come to the next generation between Thor and Pierce and EJ is pretty special.
Yeah, definitely.
We just watched Terry Householder crossing the line there in 5th position in T2 and 20th overall.
So there's a 263 now. Yep.
Now the Herbst, I had to laugh the other day. Did you see that advert they put up where they had a Chinook chasing one of their vehicles?
That's Brian Moore. So Brian Moore handles all the social media, all the filming. He's the one that's been doing all the live stream in these trucks, and that's why the quality looks so good. But Brian had an idea, and when he gets an idea, he runs with it. And how cool is that? We had to rig that truck up at the shop to get it to work right, because obviously you wouldn't want to drop it. And they physically
I think it would have been more
that truck.
exciting if it got dropped in the video. Personally,
We didn't want to ruin a truck.
You don't have to ruin it.
They actually picked it up from the airport and they brought it out to the Jean Lake bed, which was pretty cool.
Absolutely remarkable. I have friends of mine texting me going, does this really happen in the United States, or is this AI? I'm like, no, that
was real. That was real. Yes, thanks to Brian Moore.
And we're looking at Ray Griffith going out right here. Ray just finished this truck. This is a new truck, I believe, right? Isn't this his Mason truck? He got this thing as a roller, and then he actually finished it himself. He's been working on it for quite a while, and this is the first time that he's out here actually running it. So cool to see if that's the truck, right? I think it is.
Yeah, I heard he put a lot of time and effort into it, and had a lot of pride into it as well, which is really awesome to see.
Yeah, definitely pretty cool. There's a look at the 263. That's EJ there. Who's riding with EJ?
Josh Montoya.
Okay.
Now, these young men, I mean, they're only in their early 20s, but they've already got so much experience in this race class.
They do, and they've been pre-running in the race vehicles. So they pre-ran all day Thursday, all day Friday, and then now we put the bodies back on, cleaned them up, and now they're qualifying today, and they're going to race them on Sunday. So we put a lot of miles on these. We didn't bring special pre-runners out for them. They're running the race trucks.
And now if EJ is in dust, he has no one to blame except Pierce because he is right behind Pierce.
There we go. You can get mad at him.
Yeah. That's actually not an ideal draw spot, right? You don't really want to be with your teammate or brother or cousin or whatever. You don't want to be 1-1 right there for qualifying.
So Pierce Herbst now making his way into town. Let's not forget Brady Fox is our highest placed T2 finisher at the moment with an 8:21, which is an astonishing time.
And there goes Cameron Steele, one of the guys racing every single event out here, I think, just like he always does.
He makes me laugh. I love Cameron. I love his drive, and he's got to get his hands in everything. It's good to see. It's good to see him out and running the older truck in the T2 class.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you are in Hammertown, welcome. Come and join us down on the stage. We've got our T1 drivers on our limited class, or should I say unlimited class drivers, going to be doing interview sessions and also doing autographs. Come and meet your heroes. RJ Anderson's down there, Christopher Polvoorde's down there, pens are ready, and they're waiting to take your questions.
All right, here we go. Let's see where the Herbst trucks are.
1-9.
Oh, it's a Herbst in it.
Oh, Herbst in it. There we go. I love it.
Okay, so
That's the 219. Where is he at? Let's see. I'm scrolling up.
Pierce Herbst is sitting in 4th position at the moment, 17th overall.
There you go.
There you go.
So let's see. Is EJ going to beat him? Who's faster usually?
It's a crap. Pierce doesn't typically qualify. Usually it's been Thor. Thor's been qualifying pretty much every race. So this is a new deal or new word deal for Pierce.
Same thing for EJ, right? Doesn't
same thing for EJ.
Ryan Millen usually qualify?
Yeah, Ryan's usually doing it. I personally think this is good for both of them. They both need this time in qualifying, and they need to feel those nerves and help control them, especially being as young as they are. This is a good thing.
Yeah. Now, one of the things I noticed on the Herbst cars, they've got lots of tape on the steering wheels, and all the tape is marked with 1, 2, 3. Talk to me about that.
So that stemmed from Ryan Millen helping out EJ and now Thor, and that's coming up with their notes, like the severity of the corner based on how the steering wheel turns. So they'll mark the severity of the corner based on that number.
So that's almost going back to what we'd call rally.
Yep, and that's what Ryan Millen's has a ton of rally experience with him, and especially his dad Rod, and that's where he gained all that knowledge, and he's been transferring that knowledge into the desert.
And Ryan's co-driver Erica goes off that same system.
Erica does it. Yep.
That's good to see.
All right, we'll see. He's coming back in. Is he going to be in front or behind of the 219?
Well, I'm just looking down now here at the T2s. Of course, we've got Brady Fox sitting there in 1st position in T2 with an 8:21. In 2nd position is Trey Gibbs with an 8:35. Then in 3rd position, we've got Matt Winslow with an 8:37. And then in 4th is Pierce Herbst with 8:52. So here we go, making his way around. They'll be coming through the Griffin radiator start finish very shortly. So good to see the Herbst representing out here. 3 cars racing. Thor in the T1, and then of course EJ and Pierce in the T2s.
All right, EJ is behind him. He's at a 9:20. So that's going to put him in the 7th position in class, and Pierce is 4th. So 4th and 7th.
There we go.
So they'll actually be 2 rows, right?
Yes.
Or no, it'll be 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7. So they'll be right behind each other again.
Now this car is falling. You've got to remember that we've just seen EJ finish, so that means that this car's made at least a minute up on EJ.
Yeah, that is Ray Griffith there in his brand new truck.
And
so
Ray is no slouch by any means at all. He's a great driver.
He's very fast. Yeah.
The difference of these cars when you see the 2-wheel drive versus the all-wheel drive and these big Talladega Benz is remarkable.
Well, plus you look back and like Christopher has a ton of short course experience. And that's you watched how he took corners. both leaving and coming back in the short course section. That's a big advantage.
There you go. New leader, Ray Griffith for the T2 class. 8:13.
8:13. That's impressive.
8th overall.
Yep. Now we got Bean coming up too. That's Bean right there, isn't it not?
Yes, that is Bean in his that's his own Camberg truck there, the Kinetic truck.
So I'll be very curious to see what he does.
Yeah, he also drives with Tracy Graff in a T1 sometimes, which he actually converted to all-wheel drive. So he's got to go from driving the all-wheel drive at Parker a couple weeks ago to now getting back in his own two-wheel drive T2. Little different driving style between the two.
Absolutely it is.
I don't think he's going to mind that, though. I always find it really interesting, the driving position that you see in the T1s and the T2s. It's very upright. The steering wheel is much further backwards than you see in any other style of off-road or any other style of racing, full stop. It's a very upward approach.
Especially with, the biggest thing in both the T1 and T2 is vision over that hood. So like me as a driver, I like to sit as high as I can and as vertical as I can so I can see over the hood. Especially when it's not so bad when you're in the open desert, but as soon as you start getting to the technical sections, it's very hard to see over the hood. So at any point, you're trying to lift yourself up.
PCI Race Radio is the leader in off-road communications since 1972. Our equipment was developed for racing in Baja, perfected for enjoying the weekend with family and friends. PCI has the highest quality communications, navigation, and safety equipment, backed by the best support in the industry. Find us at hundreds of events each year, supporting our equipment on site and providing the PCI Weatherman Relay. See you in the desert.
Of off-road racing dominance. Proprietary patented race technology. Proudly made in the USA. Unparalleled customer service and support. The choice of champions. King Shocks. The leader in off-road shock technology. Every winter, Johnson Valley becomes the ultimate test bed, where man and machine are pushed to their limits. And power has to deliver every time. Optima batteries are engineered to excel under pressure, providing durable, reliable performance when it matters most. Because in racing, reliability isn't optional. Optima batteries, the ultimate power source.
that Mikey Childress back in the day drove.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
That's where I think it was going. As I say, but I'm not getting any younger, and my memory's not that great.
Well, it looks like the owner of that car is from Apple Valley, and Childress is pretty close to Apple Valley,
yes.
so there you go.
There we go. We'll put the pieces together. We'll come up with something.
Yeah.
So this is the monkey with a knife team here. So this will be Brian Reed. Multiple race duties this weekend. Pits alongside Bailey Cole. And these guys, they came out here a few years ago, fell in love with it, and they've just been buying up cars from every class ever since. They race in 4400, they race in UTV, they're now racing in the desert race. Fantastic to see the passion.
It is. It's amazing to me. I mean, it really is. It's a drug. Once you get it in you, I tell people there's no Betty Ford clinic we go to for off-road racing. You know, once it's in there, it's like you can't get enough of it.
Yeah. But that goes across. It covers so many different sides of the sport, so many different genres. It doesn't matter whether you're racing here in California, whether you're racing in Australia, racing in Russia, racing in the UK. It's in your blood.
Absolutely. And it has an easy way of humbling you pretty quickly as well.
Well, let's face it, every single one of us here can count on one hand how many perfect days racing
Oh,
we've ever
absolutely. I tell that. I mean, the seasoned drivers have had more failures than they've had wins.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
care who it is.
Well, Bob Bauer says,
even Rob Mack.
Yeah.
So it's the nature of the beast with this sport.
I think Bob Bauer sums it up perfectly. He says, I've beaten Baja a few times, but it's beaten me a hell of a lot more.
Absolutely. But it's that when it beats you, like even King of the Hammers, when it beats you, and it will, you remove yourself from this, go home, and all you can think about is next year. Like, okay, what am I going to do different? What package am I going to have? I got to win. I got to win this race.
So here we go. We are here for the qualifying today for the Toyo Tires Desert Challenge presented by Monster Energy. And we've got another one of our T2s coming in. This is a Brenthal car.
This should be Grabowski, yeah. So this is going to be a fast
Yep.
time. Watch this one when it comes in. Should be towards the top of T2.
Of course, we don't expect to see Grabowski with that wonderful wing on the back of his own vehicle.
Look at him just getting around that corner there. That's definitely Grabowski. You could tell a lot by the style of
He's
the
a
car
hell of a
who's driving it. Yeah.
It's great to see a car handling like that. Beautifully done.
Any times in yet?
Yep, there he is. Third. So 8:27 for the 273.
That's extremely respectable.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
He's only 6 seconds behind Brady Fox and about, 14 seconds behind Ray Griffith, who's in the top spot for T2. Looks like this car has a problem.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it has. But let's just talk about that run by Ray Griffith. That was remarkable. When you consider that's a new car, so how many miles has he got under the bonnet there? You know,
just his testing. Yeah, however many miles he went testing with it, that's it.
Yeah, I've got to give a massive shout out also to Adam Householder. This is the first time he's raced in that car, and he's currently sitting in third position.
Yeah.
Great run from Adam.
Adam's impressed me because he's been perfecting his craft, even in the two-wheel drive. You know, he's getting faster and getting faster and getting faster, and he is one you have to watch out for.
Well, you know why Adam is as fast as he is, right?
Why is that?
Because he is a 1450 racer
Of
originally.
course, yeah.
So anybody that goes from 1450 to a trophy truck, clearly, I mean, it's no big deal. You know, if you can drive a 1450 truck fast, you get in a T1 and just go out there and be right at the top. Clearly, the results show that.
It makes sense. It does.
Yeah.
The data doesn't lie, Fish.
Data doesn't lie.
Here comes Bean. Bean's coming back in now. Now this will be very curious to see.
Now, Bean, speaking of driving different vehicles, Bean has driven pretty much everything. He started in a 1600 car, right? He had his own 1600 car. He was fast, worked his way up, spec trucks, driven T1s, trophy trucks, whatever you want to call them, driven a little bit of everything. So he's definitely kind of like Adam, been around a long time, driven a lot of different vehicles, and worked his way up, and he's still fast.
So Justin Bean Smith crosses the line there.
There you go, fourth position. 1 second behind Grabowski.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Close.
1 second. 827 and
Close.
828.
Oh, it looks like
There's
the car
nothing
finally
to
made
choose
its way
between
off.
these guys, is there?
That's
that's
your car.
Yeah, that's the one we were talking about.
Yeah.
And he's pulling off.
That's sad to see. Well, hopefully they get it fixed and get it back out for tomorrow.
Well, he's got 24 hours to go and spanner on that thing.
A lot can happen in 24 hours.
Oh, yeah. And let's be honest, they're out here to have fun. They're out here to put some miles on that thing,
For
put
sure.
a smile on their face.
That's why I hope whatever it is, they can get it fixed and join tomorrow so they can continue that fun factor.
Indeed. And we've got so much racing yet to come. Of course, we're qualifying right now for the unlimited classes. But later today, we will have the limited race here at the Toyo Tires Desert Challenge, powered by Monster Energy. So we're just looking at our leaderboard right now, and then we can see our current pole sitter, and he's going to remain our pole sitter, is Ronnie, or should I say RJ Anderson, qualifying.
When a fire breaks out, seconds count. Employees follow their training and grab the nearest extinguisher. You know the drill. It's pull, aim, squeeze, sweep, and everything's under control. But what if it isn't? What if your extinguisher doesn't discharge? Then what do? Standard extinguishers are constantly pressurized. If they lose that pressure for any reason, they're absolutely useless. And because they're not designed to withstand physical damage, you have a failure just waiting to happen. We purpose-built the Russo Eliminator to overcome the problems you can encounter with typical extinguishers. First, the Russo Eliminator is not under pressure until you pull the puncture lever and break the CO2 cartridge seal. This cartridge-based design is used in extinguishers specifically for high-hazard placements like mining and chemical processing plants. It's a preferred technology because its reliability is higher than stored pressure technology. Second, we put it through rigorous tests to make sure it can take a beating without being damaged. We've dropped it, smashed it, even run over it with a truck. This is one tough product, specially engineered to give you peace of mind. We've also incorporated other advancements. Our integrated nozzle, valve assembly, and improved discharge pattern give you superior fire knockdown. The proprietary polymeric materials we use offer maximum resistance to the elements, making corrosion no longer an issue. So over the Eliminator's lifespan, you can count on peak performance. Russo features self-service technology, meaning you can perform your own inspections with no need for contracted monthly or yearly third-party service. We offer free online training on our website. The Russo Eliminator fits most standard extinguisher cabinets. Installation is easy with multiple hardware options and a unique bracket that keeps it from being knocked off the wall. Innovative, tough, and reliable, and comes with an 8-year limited warranty against defects in material or workmanship. The Eliminator presents a major advancement in dry chemical extinguisher technology, and it's clearly your best choice for ease of use and all-around fire protection. For the safety of your employees and your workplace, don't settle for anything less. Be prepared. Be protected. Russo.
Racers working with racers. Time is money. There's no easy way to build it, retrieve it, or transport it. Helicopters are the cost-effective solution. HP Helicopters solves complex problems with helicopter solutions. What usually takes weeks or days, we can accomplish in hours or minutes. We take the long way and chase horizons.
We open the throttle and crawl. We thread canyons and crest the ridge. We roll together and find solitude. We make memories and enjoy getting lost. We don't just share these lands, we defend them. And most of all, we belong here. Join us.
For 70 years, MP has powered generations of Volkswagen enthusiasts around the world seeking quality, speed, and innovation. We salute all the Class 11 racers at King of the Hammers and thank them for proving just how tough MP parts really are. MP parts deliver podiums. Just ask Blake Wilkie. Visit mpus.com to find an MP authorized distributor near you.
Vanquish Products, the official RC of King of the Hammers. From ready-to-run vehicles to premium kits, Vanquish Products remote control vehicles push the boundaries and capabilities of RC design. With machined upgrades like licensed Curry axles to licensed wheels and tires, your possibilities of creating your dream off-road machine are endless. Vanquish Products, the official RC of King of the Hammers.
In the pursuit of off-pavement exploration, confidence is everything. That's why we've built OnX Off-Road as the ultimate tool to discover trails and navigate off-grid. Everything from guided trail maps to comprehensive offline accessibility and custom trip building. Ensure you're always on the right path. Join the community that trusts OnX Off-Road to plan, share, and fuel their adventures. Because when it comes to off-roading, there's only one app built for you.
Every race is a test of performance. When the stakes are high, racers rely on proven products. If AMSOIL products are engineered for this kind of punishment, you can trust them in your garage. Shop by vehicle to find everything you need for your ride. Get the protection you demand and performance you deserve with fast, free shipping from AMSOIL.com.
Treat the customer as your friend because he is your friend. And we want him to come back. I've done that all my life, and I pound that into every one of my son's heads, I think. I think it's there.
Since 1959, Curry has built drivetrains for people who drive hard. Built right, built strong, trusted. From the trail to King of the Hammers. Curry Enterprises.
That pace and what it's going to be, and after lap one you can validate whether that pace was good enough for you. So I think you're sitting in a perfect spot.
Yeah, no, we're really happy. We were pushing. We knew we had some hot lines out there, and we were doing everything we could to try to. We knew that clean air was going to be key. And I don't, like, when we go out there and pre-run, like, I spend a lot of time on the qualifying course because I look at these, I'm pre-running in a Razor, and I look at some of these holes and I'm like, okay, we're going to be hitting this 40 miles an hour faster, and I'm just unfamiliar with the dynamics of the truck. I have a lot of seat time, but none in you get going fast in these T1 trucks. I mean, like, it doesn't necessarily feel like it in the seat, but you look down at how fast you're going, and you're clipping over 100 majority of this track out here. It's going to be a very, very fast mile-an-hour race.
What was the highest you saw? Do you remember how fast you guys got up to? Any idea?
In qualifying?
Yeah, today in qualifying.
I think right at 130.
130,
so,
okay.
It was right at 130. And that's just in qualifying, you know? So, like, there's much longer straightaways out there on the race course. So, it's fast, and it's happening fast. So, I'm learning how to read the terrain that fast. But it helps having clean air and seeing things with fresh eyes. So I knew that was going to be key to me. I put a lot of time into the qualifying course knowing I got a lot to learn. So I'm going to take all 5 laps learning. And so thankful to have clean air for sure.
Speaking of your hot lines, so I watched the drivers' meeting. They specifically said there was 2 points you had to hit on the course, and as long as you hit those points, you were good. So you listened to that too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And you hit those 2 points,
so
you're good.
Yeah, for sure.
If there was another hotline you found somewhere, maybe it's in play, right?
It's funny because me and Polvoorde were talking, and I think he has full coverage all the time on his truck, so he's already blown out of the water, you know? And we're talking, and I took another additional line, so the whole time we thought we were talking about the same line. He's like, oh, you did that line? And then he's telling me about a different line he did, and I'm like, oh, that's gnarly. I didn't think we were going to get away with that one. And so it was it was funny. I like that Dave and the boys here let us have a little bit of creativity. So, yeah, like I said, I put a lot of effort into the qualifying loops. So I got
you did your homework.
Yeah, I heard there's a meeting, so I hope we don't get any slap on the wrist. I'm not sure.
I heard that
official?
for the race there might be a change that there's a line you can't take anymore.
Yep.
That gets added for the race.
Yep. Yeah. yeah. Copy.
But that's part of the racing, isn't it? It's taking that rule book, reading the rule book, looking at the course map, making those decisions, and making those tiny little changes that are the difference between being P1 and P3.
Yeah,
sure.
Definitely. You had fun out there, right? And that's, like you said, you wanted to be at that top spot, and you took advantage of it. It's perfect. So good job.
Yeah,
and one of the oldest trucks out here for an all-wheel drive.
Yeah, I think it's just over 10 years old now. Just over 10 years old now. So, and I have a short course background, so I like that fast energy. You know, I think a lot of the desert guys do a better job, like falling into pace than me. You know, but I'm lucky that my whole background kind of sets me up for that fast, go right away mentality. And like I said, I think the steering wheel thing got my adrenaline going. I was just ready to when I pulled off and it grabbed the gear, I'm like, okay, it's go time. You know, like I already got a blessing out of this deal.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. So James Lynn obviously wired both vehicles probably, so he did the same thing on both vehicles that you were able to transfer it real quick.
Yeah, so James isn't even here. Ray Dugan calls James and is like, what steering wheel does this work? And James is literally so smart that he's like, oh, the 19 truck steering wheel programming will shift your truck, which is insane to me that it has the same I mean, my truck's 10 years old, you know?
Perfect.
And that James knows that quick on the dot. And so I'm just sitting there in the starting line because we were going to try to borrow someone's paddles and use my steering wheel. So I'm sitting there with no steering wheel in my truck watching trucks go by like, oh, this is not good. And Ray shows up in the window, try this, boom. Grab a gear, and I'm like, "There's just no way."
What a great story! What a great! I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was hectic there for a second. So.
Well, what do you think, Jim? We just heard from the #1 spot.
Indeed. Well, this is the thing. I love this racing so much. And to see you come out here, and we keep saying about this, we've got new cars, we've got old cars, we've got all-wheel drives, we've got two-wheel drives, and you've just laid it down and give us a masterclass. Good luck tomorrow, RJ. We can't wait to see you out there on course. But right now, we need to get ready for our limited races, which are going to be starting very soon.
Thank you, guys.
Good job.
All right, good job. Have fun tomorrow.
Now, Fish, now, Ryan, what a fantastic day of qualifying. It's been absolutely fantastic, but now we need to get our heads together because we've got over 120 limited class vehicles limbering up in Hammertown now and getting ready to race later this morning.
I'm ready. Let's do this.
This is our first big challenge for the weekend. As I said, especially with still no wind. I know we keep talking about it. It's going to be a story because wait till this race starts with all those cars out on track. Maybe not for lap 1, but watch how bad lap 2 and 3, and watch how it just sits.
Okay, so thank you very much for joining us. Today it has been the start of the 20th anniversary of the Griffin Radiators King of the Hammers powered by Optima batteries. It is, of course, the Toyota's Desert Challenge presented by Monster Energy, and we have just seen the unlimited classes qualifying. But come back very shortly. We're going to have the limited classes out on track, and it is going to be absolutely blisteringly hot. We'll see you soon.